Okay, so the next movie we're going to cover is actually a rarity where Baker didn't even watch the movie. So it's going to be the Rooster and I. Oh, dear God.
You're excited. Don't worry.
By the way, I didn't miss this movie because, I didn't want to see it. I did. I wanted to see this movie since I heard it was coming out.
I'm sorry, are you done?
And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we went and saw this movie without you. And I was like, oh, boo-hoo. That's what happened.
We saw Taken 2 at Deerbrook, right?
Yeah, Deerbrook Mall.
Okay,
So
which is obviously the sequel to the Taken, the first movie, which is phenomenal, one of my favorite action movies of all time. The premise basically is the CIA operative Brian Mills goes to Istanbul and somehow gets his ex-wife and daughter to go with him, and then the people that he whipped up on in the first one, their family takes vengeance and tracks him down to Istanbul and kidnaps him.
Correct. Yeah. No.
There you go.
Yeah. The family came to Istanbul to surprise him. It was his birthday, maybe. I thought. I don't remember.
No birthdays going on there.
In
Chuck
case
E. Cheese was
in case
not
y'all
in
wondered,
Istanbul.
my birthday's coming around, so that's what I was trying to get at.
Cheap pizza and video games, folks, in Istanbul.
They surprised him in Istanbul.
Right.
His wife and his kid.
Right.
Who look the same age almost. It's kind of awkward, so I like
A little bit of
like
history
both of
for
them.
you folks. Istanbul was once known as Constantinople. Thank you. Go ahead.
Who cares about that?
I'm filled with
Okay,
dumb
Rooster, go on.
It was the movie was good. I was happy with it.
You put Rooster on the spot.
Yeah,
He's like,
like,
I'm normally
wait a-
the drunk guy on the
Yeah.
side.
My microphone was turned off. Actually, I didn't even know it was happening. No, Taken 2 was good. It's not as good as the first one, but I didn't expect it to be.
But why
So-
wouldn't the guy who did? I mean, the first one was so good. Why wouldn't he direct it again? It wasn't. It was the guy who did Transporter 3 and Columbiana, which was, I thought, crap.
Because
I loved Columbiana. How dare you?
he made Magic the first time. That's why he made Magic and knew it was not going to happen again, so he didn't direct number 2. That's what happened.
I mean, I thought that I thought it definitely could have been better, and I was kind of disappointed. I mean, it definitely had some. It was intense, right? It was definitely intense. It had some intense moments.
for sure. Yeah,
But I
of
thought it
course.
was so weak. The writing was so unbelievably weak.
It could
it was
have been
weak.
better, sure. But that's the afterthoughts, and they made the movie. It happened. It was not going to be as good as the first one. The first one was fantastic. Everybody loved it.
Right. I agree with you.
There was magic happening in the first movie. They tried to reproduce that. You can't reproduce that. I don't
Well,
think.
they did try to reproduce it because they did the
I
second
know.
one. That's what they do when they do a sequel.
But you can't do that.
Well,
So
that's what
this
they
one was
tried to
good.
do. That's what they tried to do. So you can't say, well, you can't reproduce, gold. Well, that's what they tried to do by putting a 2.
I
At
get,
the
I
end
get
of it.
that, but
Okay.
you expected more out of the movie than I did.
Right.
I expected it to be entertaining, and it was.
Well, I mean, he
It was
wasn't
intense,
even he
pretty
wasn't even
off the bat. It was
he
people
wasn't even
killing
the
each other.
badass. He wasn't even the badass that he was in the first one. I mean, he was whipping up. This is what I think. The first one was rated R, right? Baker.
I'll pull it up right now.
Right? I'm pretty sure the first one was rated R. This one was PG-13. So I think they were trying to definitely get a wider audience.
No, PG-13 on both.
On both?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm shocked then.
It's the same audience. I mean, it's
No,
the first
but
one.
but the second one was definitely edited. Huge. I mean, it
There was
wasn't
definitely
nearly.
no
It
boobs
was. It
or
was.
sexual anything in that movie.
Which is what
I know
stands
for
at the
a
very
fact.
top
Yeah.
of his interests.
No, but I mean, I thought even like the action sequences and and blood and gore was kind of it was played down. It wasn't even fight sequences were nothing like they were in the first one.
There were some good ones. Are you kidding me?
Like 2? The first one had like 15.
Because he immediately disposes of people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anybody could shoot a gun.
No,
that's the problem. He was just shooting a gun
slamming
in this
their heads into the wall.
The first one was like he was whipping ass and shooting a gun at the same time, which was cool. They had really cool action sequences.
I bet you the choreographer is completely different too.
Yeah,
the fight choreographer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the moment the new Star Wars flicks lost Ray Park as their fight choreographer,
here we go.
The fight choreography sucked. The fights were like meh. But in the first one, in Phantom Menace, which was the worst movie of all time,
biggest geek. What are we talking?
They had
I'm
Ray
trying
Park.
to follow what's going on.
Ray Park was the guy who played Darth Maul.
Oh, that guy was a badass.
And he choreographed the fight.
Because he's a fighter. Like,
yes,
he's a martial
exactly.
artist.
Right.
Exactly. He choreographs fights in tons of movies.
Right.
And so they lost him by the second and third movie. So none of the fights looked good.
Well, hold on. Wait. You're wrong, actually.
No,
because I think the best fight sequence in any of the Star Wars is when Yoda
takes on Count Dooku. But here's the thing.
Come on, don't tell me that wasn't awesome.
Here's the thing.
It was funny.
All Count Dooku had to do... Count Dooku was the only one that had to do anything.
Really?
You know, freaking Yoda was all CGI, so all they had to do was just have Count Dooku stand somewhere for a moment and have the CGI character fly at him or whatever. What? No.
I got you, but that was an unbelievable fight sequence. You know why? Because I saw it twice in the movie theater, and everybody stood up and clapped when I saw it at Lowe's when Lowe's was actually...
Absolutely. I was one of them. I was at Lowe's at the midnight showing or whatever.
I mean, it was unbelievable. When he came in and he was just like, skipping into the scene, and you didn't know what was going to go on, and all of a sudden he started fighting them and jumping all over the place and getting crazy. I mean, everybody was out of their seat. They were like, holy crap, Yoda's awesome.
Darth Maul was the best character in all the new Star Wars movies, whatever.
Really?
Yeah, he was the best. Yeah, best character.
He was a great character. He was
they killed him off the first movie.
I thought who was the guy with the heart?
Grievous.
Grievous. I thought Grievous. Yeah, I thought Grievous was cool.
The cool part is that he actually was perfectly portrayed from what he was in the books. Yeah.
The guy with the heart, what are you talking about?
He was like a robot.
Right.
He was a cyborg, and he had a heart, like sitting there in the middle of his
How was that?
plate.
How was that again?
Believe me, that was
It's great sound effects, but I still have no idea who you are.
Don't worry about it. Get back to Taken, by the way.
Hey,
are we actually talking about a movie?
This is what I do. I derail, baby.
You're the biggest geek ever, man. We went off on a tangent.
I know,
on
it's
Star
all
Wars.
his fault, too.
It's so ridiculous.
Star Wars.
I'm feeling lonely.
Anyhow, I'm gonna slap a wait for the DVD. Catch it on DVD. It wasn't. It was not worth spending the money in the movie theater because it wasn't nearly as entertaining as you would even think the sequel was going to be. Like, I thought the sequel was going to be a little bit better than that. I thought it definitely had some intense moments, but it wasn't even. It was a lackluster, big time sequel. Almost to be ashamed.
Well, let me ask you a question here. Think objectively now.
Mm-hmm.
Say you were speaking to someone who had never seen the first and was wanting to go see this movie, Taken 2,
Catch it on DVD.
You would still tell them, don't go see it in the theater? Yeah. It wasn't even worth seeing for the first time?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not.
Oh, wow.
You have to see the first one first.
Yeah,
he's such... The greatest part almost about both of those movies is what an awesome character Liam Neeson is. Huh? I almost want to sleep with the guy.
He's such
I'm not gay, but he's... You want to love the guy. Right.
At the beginning of the movie, I was like, he's talking to his ex-wife. I'm going, how would you not sleep with this guy? He's the biggest badass that exists. He just saved your daughter in some foreign country because he's a badass.
Right. Killing
people and doing whatever he does, right?
But he has this persona that he loves his daughter and he's a good guy. You know, I mean, I thought that character is one of the best characters ever.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
reluctant.
awesome.
He's reluctant to kill even when necessary because he loves his daughter, etc.
Well, the first one, like one of the best, I think, scenes almost is when he was talking about like I will kill you. You know what I'm talking about? When he's talking to him.
Yeah, he's like, I have a very small set of skills.
Right.
But my skills
I will
are
find
I
you,
will find
and
you
then
and
I will
kill
you. They didn't have any moments like that
not like
in
that
the
at all.
second one.
That's true. That is
and
true.
I thought it was, well, wait, because even when there was a part when they went into the embassy, and she was kind of like talking about catching mom or finding mom, and he's like, well, I'm gonna do what I do best, and it was like, really, you couldn't come up with a better line? I mean, there were so many moments where it's like, yeah, be the SOB that you were in the first one, and it was just written and directed poorly, I thought.
It's funny that you bring that up because I'm looking here at just taglines. Tagline for the first one. Listen how, dramatic this is. I don't know who you are, but if you don't let my daughter go, I will find you. I will kill you. And then you look.
It's really one of the best.
You look at the
Fantastic.
tagline.
Almost any movie.
Yes.
Intense, fantastic, intense
Right.
moments.
If you let her go right
Love
now,
it, yeah.
right.
It's great.
It's the best.
And then the
It's
tagline
so
for the
awesome.
second one. First, they took his daughter. Now, they're coming for him.
Yeah.
Talk about
there-
lackluster.
Right. I mean,
You nailed that.
It kind of shows the movie right there a little bit.
yeah. I mean, there was action and there was intensity, right?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
yeah,
It
for
wasn't like you left going, oh my God, I wish I saw Killing Me Softly. Foreshadowing.
Sure. Yeah, that's,
No
we're not
kidding.
talking about that in any way right now. Not in any way we're
Worst
talking about
movie of all time. But I mean, you were somewhat entertained. It just, I mean, to follow up, it's almost like you probably shouldn't have done the movie. I mean, I can't say
If you weren't
only
going to do it right, why do it?
Why would you not? Why would you not take all the components of the first one and at least give me the same? If I went to the second one and was given everything I was given in the first one, I'd be okay. Even if it was I mean, even if it was cheesy, but I got all the cheesy lines, everything from the first one, just duplicate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd have been happy. This one was like, it was just kind of. I mean, they held back, didn't they? They held back.
The held back part makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
They
sure.
held back so much. It was like, you're
mean,
right. There was some
I
intensity.
don't expect anything that's number 2 to be the best one because it's number 2.
Oh, see that?
I
I think
I
that's
don't
that's
expect
where you're
that.
wrong.
It's happened before.
What number 2?
Second Godfather is
Oh.
pretty damn close to the first one, man.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
There's a
I
Come
still
on,
think
man.
the first
and that's
one was
70s.
the best.
And that's 70s. Buddy.
1974 was the first one, and I think that's still the best. But the second one
The
was
second one was
perfect to
phenomenal.
follow.
Right.
perfect. I don't
Perfect.
think it was better, but it was perfect.
Perfect to follow. Right.
There's a
Classic.
couple classics that will hit the number 2 spot as better than the first one. I agree with that, but I didn't expect that going in. I knew it was not going to be as Taken. Taken was amazing. I mean, everybody was talking about it. Right?
Oh, it's amazing.
It was the
one
first-
is
The first one was
awesome.
amazing.
It was the first movie
Yeah.
I saved on my DVR when
There
I
you
got
go.
cable,
But-
and it's still there.
Exactly.
I'm
It's
telling
amazing.
I'm telling you that the premise of Taken 2 wasn't bad. It could have been amazing. It could have been. That's what I'm saying. You're saying, well, it can't match it. I'm saying it could have. I think it
The
definitely
premise
could
was
have.
great. The delivery sucked.
I thought the premise actually was good. These guys taking vengeance, right? The
Yeah.
family he killed off,
Makes total
and then he had
sense.
conversations with them that were cool. The Albanian guy that was like, "Well, I'm a father. What about all those, basically whores that you abducted and their fathers? What about that?" I mean, like, it was a good premise that he was like, "You don't care. You ruin people's lives. I killed your son." Because your son abducted my daughter.
Yeah.
So there was justification.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the writing, the storyline, right, which was done by Luc Besson, which is a classic. He's a excellent filmmaker. Excellent. Did the Professional.
It's a classic. I love it. So much
Leon,
fun.
the Professional.
Yeah, I love the
Such a
Professional.
great
It's such a
flick.
great. That's a forgotten classic.
Ooh,
for
he
sure.
even did The Fifth Element. I love that
Yeah.
movie. Guilty pleasure right here, buddy.
I don't know if it's guilty. I thought the movie was great.
No, I don't
But-
like that movie.
But
Get out of here.
anyhow,
You're talking words.
Anyways.
both of you guys, shut up.
Hate you.
Punch you in the mouth.
Love
Okay. Side notes from the Rooster.
Rooster is literally threatening Samson right now. He says, "I've turned my mic off."
I'm gonna beat you with it. Shut up. What I'm saying is that I thought the storyline was good enough that you could have reprised it. Definitely, if they would have had action sequence, even when they fought, like the first fight scene was awesome because he was whipping like 4 guys' ass, right?
Correct. Yeah, it was awesome.
But the cutting of it it wasn't nearly as good as the first. I mean, it was
I'll agree with you. I'll
jumbled, it
agree
was
with you on
cut,
that,
you couldn't
yeah.
even see what
Yeah,
was
yeah,
going
I'll agree
on.
with you.
We're like, oh, come on, you know?
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on how he punked the main dude at the very end. Because I don't want to be a spoiler, but that was probably one of the worst
What?
I just whipped your ass things.
No, it was great. Yeah, I loved it. It
What
was
do you-
fantastic.
The
Yeah.
main dude?
Yeah. The main guy at the end?
No.
Is there someone?
No.
Yes, it was great.
No.
I don't want to spoil it because
No, you're wrong.
That'll make my
What-
point
You're
if I
talking
spoil
about
it.
a wrong dude. You're the different dude. You're talking about
The
the,
old guy?
fight scene. The old guy.
where he
Just pushed his head into the back of a...
Nah.
Yeah. So you're
See,
talking
you
about a different
spoiled
guy.
it. You
no,
spoiled it.
no, because you're talking about the guy that they were fighting on the...
Talking about the old guy, the main old
No,
guy that's
no.
in charge of everything. That's what I'm talking about.
And how did he kill him?
We're not going to tell people how they.
Well,
it's a spoiler.
No.
Uh,
No, how did he kill him? How did he
with,
kill him?
With this hand, it was awesome.
Oh, you're out of
You
your
wanted
mind.
to shoot him in the face.
You're out of your
You wanna-
mind. That was the
He went to
weakest
shoot
kill
him.
ever. That's the weakest kill of any movie of all time. I've talked to 4 different
You
people. Go,
spoiled it,
the worst part is when it's like, really? He just shoves his head up against the wall, and that's how he kills him. Yeah, I spoiled it.
Thanks for spoiling the movie.
No,
You yell
shut-
at me all the
It's-
time.
It's the weakest ending of almost.
No, it's fine. It's good.
No,
Rooster, Rooster.
the
It's
fight scene
The
right before.
Rooster says
The fight
it's
scene right
fine.
before. No, the fight scene right before it was good. I thought that was almost the
It's
redeeming
fantastic.
quality. Right.
Great
That-
fight scene.
But to kill the main dude, that was the lamest kill,
No.
I think, almost of all time.
Rooster, why don't you go ahead and give me your rating of it? So,
What do you got?
You got to catch it on DVD.
Oh, you think so too? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you
Okay.
said?
Yeah, I say catch
Okay.
it. on
Oh,
DVD.
you for sure gonna see it on
I
DVD.
yeah. It's worth.
Don't,
It's
don't
it's
go to the
definitely
theater and
don't-
see it.
Right.
But DVD for sure.
Right.
'Cause it's good.
Don't buy it. Don't own it. Just
It's like
catch
1
it,
out
you
of
watch
9
it,
movies
right?
I've seen lately, and I want to actually see this movie again.
Hey,
One
there
out
you
of
go.
9. I don't want
Hey,
to see
to
any
go
other
back
movie.
and see it again, that says
I don't
something
want to see
about it.
any other movie that we've seen besides this one ever again.
You definitely want to watch Twilight again.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
want to.
Well, that was a stupid movie.
Yeah, but you stayed awake through the whole thing, so
You were awake
obviously
through
it
the
held
whole
some
thing.
kind of
Because
hidden
I started drinking
value
at
to
the
you.
beginning. If I would have drank beforehand, I would have stayed awake for the entire movie.
You love Life of Pi. You know you love it.
Well, I passed out.
Every
Sure.
2 minutes of it that he saw.
Yeah, I went to sleep when the tiger
Skyfall credits,
was
great.
was
I
hitting
love
his
the
face
credits.
or something, and I woke up and the tiger's hitting his face again. I'm like, I'm happy I missed that
All right.
hour-long movie.
You're
All right,
actually
folks.
one of the greatest critics of credits I've ever seen in my life.
He can lay down a credit critique better than anybody.
Like, oh my
So,
god,
folks-
there's a lot of words.
In closing, Samson and the Rooster, give it a catch it on DVD. Don't waste your money at the theaters, folks.
Yeah.
Wait for it to show up on that little disc.